So we are headed off to Berlin, yeah, only using regional trains, and we are here in Bremen, so it's going to take the most of the day, and German rail systems are not always the most reliable. So I'm interested in seeing how this is going to go and when we'll be there, but we take it as an experience and head for Berlin. So we have just arrived at Hamburg, the station outside of Hamburg. Great train ride, 1 hour train ride from Bremen to Hamburg. I do have some concerns with the train. It was the operator Rethenow who runs the train from Hamburg to Bremen and the other way. And well, the concerns here is, first of all, it's a double-decker train, but you can only sit at the top. The bottom is for bicycles, which takes up a lot of rooms, but there were a lot of bicycles on this train particularly, but I do have some concerns about it. Furthermore, there's no room for luggage. You simply have very little room for luggage. So if you are traveling on this, be prepared to think creatively about where you put your luggage. But now we will find the next train, which is the train to Ulzen. It is, well, traveling from here in around half an hour, so we might get some coffee and then take the train towards Ulzen and see if it's on time, but until now, we are on time. Quick little tip for when you're traveling in Germany by train, be prepared for change of platforms because, well, we just got a change of platform because there's a Swedish sleeper train which is now half an hour delayed holding on our track. So, luckily, it was just the next track over, but still, be prepared for that. But there's actually a lot of that. Trust me, I speak from experience, and it didn't surprise me. An overfilled train, so hopefully we don't have to stand up in every train the rest of the way, but the train towards Ulzen is very overfilled, so we're standing up, and it's only an hour and a half train, and then we have 6 minutes to change to the next train, so hopefully we'll get there in plenty of time. So we managed to make a little quick change from one train to another. This time it is well, a train delivered by DB, Deutsche Bahn, and this one is actually much better and you will sit better in most seats. Unfortunately, we got some little fold-out seats, so not the best of seats, but better than standing up the rest of the way. And we are right on time, but I like the DB app because, well, our train, the other train down here to Ulzen take an alternative. But for now, let's move on board this Deutsche Bahn train towards Stendal, Hauptbahnhof, and from there we are supposed to go on a small regional train in towards Berlin. Let's see if it is that small. But first of all, 1 hour of relaxing to Stendal, Hauptbahnhof. So we reach our connection here in Stendal. We are now going on the local train right behind me to Rethenow. It's a 20-minute change, but we will hurry up and find ourselves a seat because there's plenty of people with this, and we need to get onwards to Berlin. And in Rethenow, we are going to change to another train, and then we are almost in Berlin. So after a quick change of trains from the local one over to this regional one, we are ready for the final stretch towards Berlin. The last train of the day, and when we reach Berlin it will be, well, over in a bus, but it's going to be tight. We have 6 minutes from the train pulls up to the station until we can reach the bus. There's a 4-minute walk, but we'll see. Furthermore, I always hear that German trains, they are delayed all the time, they are unreliable. Right now we are still on time, totally on schedule, all the way across. So not all that unreliable. Can actually be done on time. So Let's see if it's holding up the rest of the way. Alright, so we are right here in Berlin, but we're not finished, not entirely. So make sure you stick until the end because I will have a little tip for you. But first I will have some thoughts. I just need to find my hotel first, and then I will have some thoughts on travel and some great tips for you. Alright, so I arrived at the hotel here in Berlin, and it is special, let me say that. It is not that bad, but it could be better. But back to the train trip, there was one thing we did experience. There were no one to check the tickets. I have always heard that in Germany you need to have a ticket if you are not to get a fine, because they check it all the time. We have just driven from Bremen over Hamburg to Berlin without having our ticket checked once. I would not take it without a ticket, but there were no one to check it. But this was also overfilled trains. There were so many people in these trains. So a little quick tip is to be fast and be the first one in each carriage to make sure that you get a seat, because, well, otherwise you end up standing up, because that was what we did for at least 2 trains. And there was one where we have those flappy seats and all these kind of things, but nevertheless, make sure that you are there in reasonably amount of time. And when you need to make the change between trains, jump from one to the other quickly. And if you can be the first, be the first. And we're not going to end it here because we have to experience Berlin, and that's the video right here. And if it's not online yet, then YouTube will recommend something specially for you. Otherwise, it will be the trip to Berlin. And make sure you check it out what to do in Berlin so you can get inspired for your Berlin trip.